Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, have reported Buhari to UN, making some claims. The indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob, have submitted materials chronicling alleged human rights abuses perpetrated against the Igbo-speaking people in Nigeria to Agnes Galadma, special reporter at the United Nations (UN). The group's leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, said their goal is to ensure that the human rights violations occurring across Nigeria will be acknowledged and confronted and perpetrators persecuted. In a Facebook post containing the documents, Kanu said the religious minorities across Nigeria must be protected by the international community. The materials submitted on Wednesday were signed by Nnamdi Kanu as Ipob's U.S. National Coordinator Dr. Clement Okoro and 22 state coordinators from across the United States. The documents submitted to the UN contain 12 incidents in which they claim Biafrans were subjected to severe human rights abuses, ranging from indiscriminate arrest to mass executions allegedly carried out by Nigerian military, police, and other security forces. Most notably amongst these atrocities is the killing by Nigerian military forces 150 Biafrans in May 2016. These innocent civilians were celebrating Biafra Remembrance Day and commemorating the approximately 2 million Biafrans that lost their lives during the Nigerian Civil War in 1960s, the letter said. The number of human rights abuses being committed against minorities and those with dissenting views in Nigeria, including members of the Ipob, over the past 5 years have increased dramatically both in scale and heinousness, it added. The letter also called Special Reporter Galadma attention to the massacre of Christians by Fulani extremists, a group that the 2019 Global Terrorism Index estimates is deadlier than the Boko Haram terrorists. These crimes committed by states and non-actors alike are at best ignored by the Buhari regime and at worst sanctioned by the state administration. The instances of mass murders and other horrific acts of violence are rarely investigated, and perpetrators are not persecuted. Rather, they were covered and given amnesty. Even where violence has been demonstrated to have been led by state security actors, no mechanism exists to hold those responsible accountable. That was the letter written by Nnamdi Kanu to the UN. I don't know if we should be talking about this right now because the whole world is more concerned with solving the coronavirus pandemic that is ravaging the world and is taking its toll on Nigeria also. Because as of today, the count of deaths globally stand at 21,000, almost 22,000 people have been confirmed dead by this virus. And now Nnamdi Kanu is talking about the human rights abuses that were being condoned or being sponsored by this Buhari regime. No doubt, some days ago, Buhari same Nnamdi Kanu have written to the U.S. Department of State, to the United Nations, and even to the ICC, reporting the incessant killing of Christians in the northern part of Nigeria by the Boko Haram sect and also by the Fulani herdsmen that are running rampage. Remember, there was a time in Nigeria where Fulani herdsmen were killing people day in, day out in Benue State and in Plateau State. And recently, we still keep hearing the rumor not rumor, we keep hearing, getting news, the report of Fulani herdsmen being escorted to carry out this mayhem, like the case that happened in Delta State, when the community people came and said that the Fulani herdsmen were escorted by men of the Nigerian army to their community to cause this havoc and to cause this unwanted destruction of life and property. Same thing happened in Ebonyi State when the community people alleged that the Fulani herdsmen were escorted as well by the men of the Nigeria police force and the Nigerian military to carry out this hate mayhem. And up to now, no investigation have been opened against this. I believe that is what Nnamdi Kanu is saying. To be sincere, the Buhari administration have done little or nothing to solve these security challenges that is facing Nigeria. Remember the rift that happened between the now sick Abba Kyari that tested positive to coronavirus and the chief of the security advisor to President Buhari, the person of Moguna, where the Moguna accused Abba Kyari of taking charge, of giving directive to men of security force, as if the directive are emanating from Buhari himself, and they resulted a big problem. And that was when Nigeria know that the person that have been in charge of the government is not actually Buhari, but Abba Kyari, that have been giving order and been doing all the whole thing behind the scene. And now Nnamdi Kanu have gone ahead to make this complaint. I urge the international community to look into this, because Nigeria things are getting from bad to worse by the day. Remember yesterday, if you recall, the men of the Boko Haram terrorist group lay ambush for the Nigerian soldiers and killed over 75 soldiers that were murdered in that soldiers and officers of men of the Nigerian force were killed, and the ammunition and other logistics that were supposed to provide for the Nigerian military were all destroyed during that attack. And these are the things that is happening, and Nigeria is not doing anything. Rather, those in government are coming out to say they should give amnesty to this same Boko Haram that have been causing mayhem, that have been causing destruction of life and property. That is a community, that is society we find ourselves right now. And I thank Nnamdi Kanu for always being there, for always speaking, not just for the Igbos this time around, but for speaking for the minority group in Nigeria that have been oppressed, that have been humiliated, that have been intimidated by these Fulani herdsmen and these Boko Haram terrorists. Because it's now as if the Fulani herdsmen are now they now have their own government, they now do things at way. Take, for example, the case that happened in Anambra State when a community, Umuawulu community in Oka, came to report that they saw 4 Fulani herdsmen boys carrying AK-47 in a broad daylight. And when they followed them they saw that they are Fulani herdsmen. And when the men of the Meta Allah, their leader, were called for a stakeholders meeting between the Fulani herdsmen and the Igbo's leader before the men of the Nigeria police force, the Fulani leaders walk away from that meeting and tell the Igbo leaders to do their worst. And the Igbos came out to cry foul. Even the cultural group of the Ohanize Indigbo, their president came out to say, in person of Nia Wodo, he came out to condemn that act and urge the federal government to do something about it. Up to now, nothing has been done. This is what Nnamdi Kanu is reporting, and this is why Nnamdi Kanu is now taking the battle to UN. That UN should look into this and protect the minority group, not just in Nigeria but all over the world, because it's as if things is going out of hand. Nigeria don't want another civil war, and we don't want anything that will lead to this. But let them be justice, let them be truth, and let there be rule of law for everybody. Not that the rule is for some while others above the rule, which is very wrong, because I believe where there's no justice, there can never be peace. And where there's no peace, there can never be prosperity or growth. So I thank Nnamdi Kanu for doing this, and I urge the international community to look into this and know and address it appropriately. Not just because it's coming from Nnamdi Kanu, but this is what Nigeria as a people is suffering. And I also wish to hear your own opinion and your thought concerning this, and we'll be glad if you can share that with us. Keep keeping informed with our Wakes Network.